is Alex, a student of history at the University of Sheffield, and I'm speaking on behalf of the student representation of the Climate Action Committee here in Sheffield. Just want to quickly give my thanks to the committee's hard work and dedication to put together today's rally. And I want to also give our word to you, the people of Sheffield, that from us that we will continue as we have started and give the same level of endeavour and passion to our preparations and future protest actions ahead of the COP26 summit in Glasgow that begins on November 1st, to make our voices, the British people's voices, planet Earth's voices heard and recognised up and down this country of ours, so that these world leaders who talk big and act little on the approaching climate catastrophe before us will perk up their ears and take heed that they can no longer rely on rhetoric and empty promises to see them through another electoral term. Having been born in the early 90s, the dark clouds of climate change have hung over my head and the heads of my entire generation for our whole lives. We have listened to promise after promise made about recycling, about green energy, about reductions in plastic and pollution, until our ears have grown numb from the repetition. Just 100 companies, among them PepsiCo, Coca-Cola and Nestle, are responsible for 71% of global carbon emissions since 1988. And although Rishi Sunak has already spoken so highly of the achievements this G7 cohort have made recently regarding the 15% tax rate on these multinational corporations, if this generous new tax rate is anything like the national business tax before it, how's it supposed to be enforced? Now this weekend, the G7 have gathered in Cornwall for another talking shop, all flown in by private jets, by the way, to show their dedication to curtailing carbon emissions. I fully anticipate another handful of promises written in an important-looking document that will proceed to be ignored by these corporations and unenforced by the national government, whose task it is to enforce them. Shame! Shame. The reason we are gathered here today, as protest groups have organised across the country, is to buck that trend. To make some noise. To make them sweat beneath their neat white collars, and to show them that the anger at their inaction, their incompetence and their inability to respond decisively to the literal end of our world as we know it, that the anger is growing, and it will continue to grow so long as they fail to stay true to their word. On a slightly different note, there are two issues that I've pondered over the last few weeks regarding young people in particular, my generation and below. Birth rates are falling across the board among younger generations, and the mental health crisis among us continues to be endemic and has only worsened during the last decade of Tory austerity and the coronavirus pandemic. The experts ponder and scratch their heads. Is it an over-reliance on technology? Perhaps a breakdown of social skills among young people are to blame? Or are we simply just too soft and sensitive for our own good to handle the real world? I have a suggestion that doesn't seem to be mentioned much. Our planet is burning, damn it! We are tired of being made promises by the people who are supposed to be our leaders that are never kept. We are tired of seeing our future slipping away from us, confiscated by our parents who tell us that we have it easy when they bought a deposit on a house on 4 months' wages. And we are tired of watching the natural world die around us, wonders and miracles of nature that our children will never experience because of the greed of those who came before us. Who are they to demand that we have children and bring them into a world like that? For the generations of young people already here, and for those generations yet to be born, every one of us, everyone who can hear my voice has an obligation to stand and be counted. To fight for this world, our world, the only planet we have. To say to those corporate fat cats, those self-interested opportunists, those money-minded machine men, no more! No says that we'll do it tomorrow. No more to first world leaders hitting the snooze button for another 10 years and turning away. No more to the pursuit of profit over the people and the world. Let them hear you. No more. No more.